Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Do you want to be a man? Seriously. I'm hearing, and I've heard it all my life, and I thought, well, I guess it's about time I said something about it. Are you 13 years old, 14 years old, 15 years old, 20 years old? Are you still trying to figure it out? What is a man? How do I be a man? A man's man, right? And I will tell you to start with, I know that struggle. I were one. There's something that I learned growing up. Fortunate, I think, to have heavy Asian martial arts influences around me growing up. The conundrum is that my father was a judoka, competitively so, and he was an asshole. Okay? But the reason I say that word is because, and I could use much harsher language, there is this prevalence in media, in movies, and yes, especially in the West, but it's worldwide. This idea that might is right? Our world is controlled by it, right? Ladies, you know what I'm talking about because you live your whole life subjugated by it. Even if you're a very strong woman, you know that your negotiative skills and your manipulative skills are built around not getting your head cut off. Men don't think that way, right, boys? We're the head cutters because that's what's held up in the world as masculinity, our potential for violence. I don't know when it disappeared from media. I certainly don't see it very often, if at all. But I'm reminded of an old story about samurai. And I don't think, if you're a young man right now, if you're looking for an example of strength, power, maleness, I don't think you're going to find a much better, earthly example. Forget fantasy and folklore. I'm talking about actual men that can rival a samurai. Somebody who could snap a life away in a second. Somebody who's so strong that he would take his own life for honor. But there's something in that statement I just made that we don't see. We see honor as a winning of battles in the West, of more violence. But what's missing is the one most powerful statement in samurai training, that the most revered samurai, the most skilled samurai, because don't forget that violence is very brutal. It doesn't require much sophistication. But a samurai, or somebody whose art, whose life is dedicated to precision, that should be where you young men are looking for maleness. It is in that nth degree of accomplishment, not violence. Because the most revered samurai is the samurai who never draws his sword. That doesn't mean he doesn't know how to use it. That means that he knows how to use it so well and what it's capable of that he tempers his violence with a deep, abiding respect for the power he wields. That lesson is gone. Where did it go? If you want to be truly a masculine male amongst males, Learn to respect the power that you have and pay reverence to it. Don't indulge it. Don't be a maniac, violent, angry man. That's not a man. That's an animal let loose. That's not a man. You don't want to be an animal. You want to be the container, the animal trainer, the animal husband, trainer, respectful moderator. That's masculine. That's maleness. That is how you become a protector. So a man who just runs around slaughtering stuff isn't a protector to anyone. He can call himself a protector, but who's he protecting? Not even himself, because ultimately he's damaging his own physical body. The weapon that he's using, that's not maleness. That's not even respectable. That's animality. You're being a wild rabbit. Even a dog is better controlled than that kind of a male. Yeah, I know there's YouTubers and TikTokers and social media men all teaching you how to think down your nose at lowly females and women and you know, power, take over, be the man. Well, that's not being a man, I'm sorry to tell you. Those guys are liars, posers, and they're taking advantage of you. Because as a young man, you're raging with extra energy and you want to know where to put it. And I'm telling you where to put it. Put it into self-control. The amount of strength it takes to do that, my friends, that's masculine. Understanding the power that you have with an abiding respect for not using it is manness. That's being a man. That's masculinity. That other stuff has nothing to do with being a man or masculinity. That's just raw, manipulative, anger, violence. That's your basis. It doesn't require much effort. It really doesn't. I don't care if you're into MMA or, kickboxing, whatever. I have no respect for men who try to identify their manness through violence. They're animals. And some are worse than others, granted. Some of them are quite skilled. But the foundation of martial arts, go research it through Japan, China, India, the masters of the arts, right, of masculine power. They all are trying to develop this mental man space of appreciation for not expressing that very capacity. That's macho. Not posturing and primping, but being calm, controlled, containing that potential. That's being macho. Rising above the animal nature. We can work out. We can train in the movements of martial arts. We can excel at it. And we can express it as that flow of energy in our bodies. You can do that. I did it with cycling as well as martial arts. Cycling, which looks like such a soft sport, believe me, You go climbing a mountain on 2 wheels with just your pedal power. You come to terms with who you are and the limits of your strength and the expression of your strength. The pride, the self-reward, that's where that energy needs to lead you. In a more profound understanding of the potential of your body, your mind, your thinking. There is masculinity. Not barking at people and trying to pummel them. That's not an expression of your skills. That's a revulsion of them. There's no respect in that. There's no dignity in that. When you take your split-second reaction times to things and demonstrate a self-control, an expression that is life-affirming, now you're being a man. And I in a way, I came to this video kind of backwards to a man anyway, to a young man, a boy. In my last video, talking about women, or the one before last, about the precious thing it is to have a womb, to be able to offer a space for the instantiation of a new human being. Men, boys, what do we have that can compete with that? Well, I'm telling you, our role in the species is to have the very controlled potentials to be builders, protectors, thinkers, the sphere of an environment nurturing what a woman brings to the world to funnel a human being into existence. Sorry about the pun. We work together, equals. See, if you're pursuing a masculinity of violence, then the frail woman is easily discarded as of no value. Please don't go there. That's so inhuman. You don't understand how much destruction your mind is doing pursuing that violent goal. You want to be a man? You want to be really masculine? Be something that females look to as an honorable, dignified, safe haven for humanity. That's a man. A man who deeply reveres the place, the role, the ability of the female in life. See, the two, they function together. Not like this, like this. Anyway, I just had to say that. Maybe I should talk about it some more, but I don't want to get into that loop of I'm a Buddhist. This channel is about Buddhism. But I also realize that there's a lot of young people. I was one once, a couple days ago, who seek and look for a raison d'être, right? What am I doing here? Why do I want to everything, right? You want to understand your mind. But there's so much distraction out there. Screw your mind. Just screw shit up. Just express your rage, your strength, your anxiety. Just give it voice. Please don't listen to those noisemakers. They're just the animals in our society. You want to be a man? Introduce dignity into your thinking all the time. Sure, pursue martial arts, pursue sports, but pursue sports that elevate the spirit. Right? Pursue sports that are, look at swimming, cycling, tennis. There are all kinds of sports that challenge your martial arts. But there's a lot of problems with martial arts in the West when they're based on making your opponent, embarrassing your opponent, one-upsmanship. That's not martial arts. Martial arts has always been historically about developing the mind. And this is Buddhism. That's why the two are so often linked, yeah? You need idols? Look at Bruce Lee. Look at Jet Li. Maleness is a very important quality. Masculinity should be defined by its dignity, not its power. The power should be in the dignity, because the more self-controlled, the more appreciation for the fine fabric of life. That's masculinity, my friends. Boys, young men, seek out examples for that thinking, that developmental aspect of masculinity. And always remind yourself of the tremendous beauty and fragility of the female. That the power of the female is of a completely different sort. It can be chthonic. It can be very unsure of itself, and it has its own sort of violence. But that's women having to deal with that, developing the dignity of their femininity, taking control and appreciation of their bodies and their abilities. That's the female task, not yours. Yours is to respect it, just as theirs is to respect ours. So be respectable. All right. A short discussion on being a boy and educating yourself into being a man, a real man, not just a tool of violence. A hammer can do that. Right? There's very little value for that, especially if it's uncontrolled. So I encourage young men, find and support some role models that teach you the deep, abiding respect for life, not destruction. Right? All right, I'll let you go. Take care of your health. Be kind to yourself. Practice Buddhism. This is the quickest way for you to realize your dignity. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one, hopefully. All right? Take care. Bye for now. Myoho